First movie I watched was a movie from the great country of Ireland, home of great beer and great 2022 movies and great potatoes. And it is a movie that currently has 540 votes on IMDb. It is called That They May Face the Rising Sun. And it is based on a novel by a novelist that I like. This is why I actually first heard about the movie, named John McGarren. And he wrote a really good memoir called All Will Be Well that I read a few years back, and I have the book here. But this is based on his a book that he wrote called By the Lake, which I have not read. And this is about I think it's somewhat autobiographical, but it's about a couple in their, I would say, early 40s, and their names are Kate and Joe, and they're played by Barry Ward and Anna Bederke, and they live in Northern Ireland. They live in this very kind of bucolic, rural environment that maybe screams a little bit Banshee's Quiet Girl, just like this movie does, which is a very good movie. And they have he's a writer and she's some sort of artist. They don't attend church, which baffles some of the locals, but they do have a very strong social network. And there are a bunch of old people that kind of drift in and out of their house from time to time. They have some very colorful neighbors and people that they get on with. Early on in the movie, they're kind of put in this situation where they live this very kind of laid back lifestyle where it's all about the land and the farming, and it's a slower pace of life. But then there's this kind of opportunity where they might get a chance to move back to London. There's a few characters that sort of pose questions to them, like distant relatives coming by and people stopping in and reminiscing. If I'm making this movie sound kind of slow, it is slow, but that's one of the real charms of this movie, is that it's not a movie that's super plot focused. It's not a very fast moving movie, but over the course of this film, you get to know this married couple pretty well, but especially vis-a-vis their relationship with their neighbors. And this is a movie that does take a little bit of work. It takes some concentration. It's a little hard to understand what they're saying the whole time. They speak in pretty thick accents, but you do start getting a sense as the movie's going along what they mean to the community. And it's sort of this funny symbiotic relationship they have, because there's a couple parts of the movie where they say, what would this community be like without us? I mean, they're driving the old people to the bus stop. They're taking their bikes everywhere. But then the old people kind of say, well, these two city folk would be nothing without us. And so there's sort of this funny interplay there. There's a wedding in the movie. There's a funeral in the movie. It's kind of a portrait of this small town over about the course of a year. And if I haven't hid my enthusiasm well enough, then forgive me, because this is the first 4-star movie of 2025. This is an absolutely fantastic movie. It does a lot of things that I like. It has a story in it, but it's more focused on the characters and their interactions rather than some big, grand, overarching narrative. The movie takes its time. It's very much about the characters and their nuances. And there's some narration that the main character Joe has, in which he kind of contemplates, if it's happiness, then you shouldn't really be identifying it as happiness. It's sort of a little bit existential. This is an absolutely wonderful movie. There are some overlaps, obviously, with the Irish movies that I mentioned before. There's a little bit of the straight story in this movie, too, because a lot of the cast, a lot of the characters in the story are elderly, and some of them still have grudges and a lot of resentment and regret in their life that they kind of filter through this married couple who almost at times acts as therapists for them. So this is a movie that won the Irish Best Picture Award, which also Banshees and Quiet Girl won, and it just continues the legacy of great movies coming out of Ireland. So I don't know if it will be available in anyone's local cinema. It's going to take me a while to get the name right. It's got a lot of words in the title, but the title, as I look on IMDb, is That They May Face the Rising Sun, which is a beautiful title that's explained in the last scene of the movie, and it's a fantastic movie. Now, you guys have not heard of this movie at all, right?
Nope. Right.
Okay. Well, it will be on my top 10 list. It's a fantastic movie.